right, so let's get down to the
Okay, I'm
magic.
ready.
Okay, cool.
Down to it.
So how do they do it? Three, two, one. I actually did it reverse. I did three, two, one. You see?
That's fine. It's perfect. Are you recording? This is the way it should be.
Yeah, we're going. We'll have a bloopers reel.
I love it. Hey, everybody. Wait, are we starting?
No, I'm gonna start right now.
Okay.
Um, Toni, I'm so excited to be with you, and I am kind of like jumping out of my skin here that I get a chance to collaborate with you
You should be
because
jumping into your skin when you're with me.
great point. Oh my God, great point.
We should
So
drop and down regulate. I'm just
yeah.
teasing you.
No,
It's
no,
great.
that's what Toni does. She brings us into our body. And you actually just segued into one of the first things I wanted to talk to you about. When did you start to get really good at helping people that aren't comfortable moving and aren't comfortable in their body kind of move through that invisible wall of their comfort zone and get out of their shell? Because in our collaboration that we first did at Omega, I was nervous because I never collaborated with anyone in my entire life in this work that I do with the emotional healing and the trauma recovery work because it's so tender to me. And I'm probably a control freak, right? Wanted to have it all there. But then I collaborated with you. And I remember after like just hearing your voice and the way you were with the group, I don't know if you remember this, but I had a mic and the mic was, I was going to be able to jump in and chime in. And I think I just turned it off. And, and every time I looked at you, I was like, this is amazing. You know what I mean? So, and I remember the trust, but when did you start getting good, or
So
when did you realize you were good at that, at helping people feel comfortable in their own skin that might not be so comfortable in there?
I love this question so much on so many levels because there's so many answers I could give you. So one of them is I was going to say, do I really make people feel comfortable? Because
Oh,
some people
yeah.
I'm just, no, seriously, because some people I'm just myself fully. And that's all there
Right.
is to it. Like, I'm not like going like, are you guys okay? Is everybody okay? I'm just like,
I
let's
know.
do this. Like, so I don't really, I guess what I would say is I like to be funny. I like to be light. I like to commiserate. I like to, I like to just bring you right into where I'm at. And if
Hmm.
I'm so comfortable in my body and I love to move and just everything is so delicious, it's just like you can't not. Otherwise, you just stand there and like frozen. So it's almost like I pull people in with humor. So
Hmm.
there's all these gradations of what safety means, right? So
Hmm.
I have a very safe container for trauma and pain and sadness and grief, and I also have a massive container for joy, ecstasy, and freedom. So when you put that together, and I'm just like going to bring you through this whole process, right? The safety comes in this, and I'll tell you this: I would never do something to you that I haven't done to myself. I would never bring, I don't experiment with the people. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to lay on the floor. We're going to roll around and enjoy our body. Then we're going to go into our spine. Then we're going to go into the appendages. Then we're going to go into the emotions. Then we're going to go into the joy. Then we're going to, I mean, I just, it's life. It's like life on the dance floor. I would never take anyone through something that I haven't been through myself. I'm always digging for deeper layers of my own consciousness, my own awareness so that I can shift. But I think this is a beautiful question. So I don't think there was a moment when I realized that I was a good space holder. I just think it's been years and years of marinating and seeing what works. Like, how do people respond to me? And then I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
that isn't working. So let me give them something else. It's like if I see nobody is with me, I'm going to start leading movement to get people to say,
Hmm.
lift your arms and put them down, and
Yeah.
help people, but not in a weird way, in a like, oh, I see that I need to offer more. It's like I'm just
Yeah.
listening to the room, but I don't listen with my it's like not the judgmental mind of like, oh, they're not with me. It's a
Hmm.
how do I pull these people into the vortex? That's what it is. It's a different feeling. How do I
You're
share with them from my heart and give them some more?
you're a great room reader, and you pull people into your resonance because it's so playful, joyful, and there's nothing else there. It's like innocent. It's very innocent from what I witnessed, for of your work. And it just, I saw Marines dancing with scarves, I saw Army sergeants skipping around,
It was amazing.
and it was
And
just,
laughing.
loving it, loving
It
it.
was epic. Yeah, I mean, that was one dance of probably 50,000, 100,000 dances that I've done. I don't even know. I literally could, if I counted, I probably would be overwhelmed by the amount of times I have done the process.
When did you know you wanted to do this for the rest of your life?
I was not one of those kids who went to dance school and was at 3 years old, decided I was going to become a dancer. I was not that kid. I was spazzy and uncoordinated little, like, not, I was not an early bloomer, let's just say. And I just was when I found dance at age 24, which actually is early blooming for other
Mhm.
career things, but not for dance. I would have been a late bloomer for dance. But I hit the dance floor and I had a big emotional experience and it was a huge awakening. And it was exactly what you said. It was about coming into my skin. And at that moment, I think by the time I was 25, I knew that I had no other option. I really basically, I know this is going to sound really cheesy, but the word dharma in the Hindu religion means you find your path. And it was like I literally was slammed into it. Like it must have come from like some other dimension that I knew this is what I was
Mhm.
supposed to do, because otherwise I never would have been able to do it. I was a teacher, I was getting my master's in, like, education. I was going to be a teacher, and then this thing happened to me and it was not what I was expecting. It was like a big giant left turn. I remember telling my parents, like, I'm going to start teaching dance. They're like, "What?" It was like, I thought you were going to be a lawyer or a chef or a psychotherapist. What was it going to be? That was never in play. But it was because I cried so deeply and had a soul recognition experience that I was okay, that I was safe, that I was in a body, that I was beautiful, that I was not crazy, that I was not just a mess. It was like that realization that I existed on more levels than just the mental and emotional level. It was the body and soul level that's what happened to me. It was almost like I don't think I actually made a decision. I think it just was made for me, because as things unfolded after that moment at age 23 or 24, everything happened in a certain way that just led me to this point where I am now.
Mhm.
And every decision I made along the way has led me to this point. And at the same time, I feel like it was somehow never really a decision. Like I just loved
Mhm.
it so much that I was like, how can I not do it for the rest of my life? That's how much I
Mhm.
loved it. That's really the truth. Like if I didn't love it so much, I definitely wouldn't be doing it still.
What part of your work, what part of your sessions, what part of your, movement is most rewarding for you?
Mm.
What moments are like most rewarding?
Oh, I just came off like, a 10-day retreat with the most amazing group of people. And I mean, it's really, it's a feeling. It's hard to put into words. It's like there's a feeling, there's a moment when everyone is together in like an ecstatic state of divinity. It's like I don't know how else to describe it, but it's like everyone's like, what is going? It's like we've just hit altered state reality, and we're like, and life is pulsing through. And I see this woman who's like 75, like dancing like on the beach, and then this other woman, like, she's like throws her sarong on the floor. She's like, I don't care, I'm gonna go bikini totally tonight. She's like 72. And then I have like the 40-year-olds who are like so excited to see the 70-year-old. It's a community feeling. I don't know how else to
Yeah.
describe it. Like there's a moment when everybody is in, and it happens many times during the dance. Like I
Mhm.
don't feel it just at the end. I feel it all throughout. Like when we're all in this calm state, when we're
Mhm.
all in the emotional state, when it's like it's about community and connection. That's what it is. That's what makes me the most happy, is when people connect. They're totally in themselves. They're telling their story to the dance floor. They're not looking at anyone. They're not performing. There's no
Yeah.
performance in this. It's
Mhm.
just experiential. And they're just so in their moment that I can be myself, they can be themselves. There's like judgment leaves the building.
When I'm reflecting on the collaboration we did at Omega and then certain moments in our retreats, it's like there's a collective oneness that comes over the space, and
Hmm.
everyone in it is just like in this similar frequency, similar vibration, and it's just like a oneness. That's the only way that I could describe it.
Beautiful. That's what we all are longing for. We don't want to be
Yeah.
alone in our little world suffering, right? We want to be with others suffering or with others having fun. And then you get to decide. Basically, that's it. Life is just one decision after another. Would I choose to be with people who will suffer with me, or people who will make me uplift me? That's basically the choice. That's the way I look at it. I'm like, what decision am I making? My phrase for the whole 10 days retreat was, this was a good decision. Are we in agreement? Yes. Like wherever we went, waterfalls, dancing on the beach, headphones, laying out for
Yeah.
shamanic journeying, whatever it was, I was like, good decision. They're like, good decision. So it's
Mhm.
like when you start feeling like that, it's a feedback cycle.
Yeah.
And everything starts to be like, oh, wait, let me go in and make this decision. knowing that every time I make a decision, it leads me to another place,
Mhm.
which is the key. So
Yeah.
we are definitely inviting you to an event that we're going to be hosting. I'm just going to say, like, this is going to be a good decision. When I turned 55, I said, I'm going to get myself a hot tub because I want what is freezing in the winter here. I did it. It was a big deal. And people they're like, oh, it's so cold. I don't want to go in. I'm like, okay, it's a good decision. Like, you put a little hat on your head and you get in the hot tub with me, and I'll promise you, we'll put music on, and then they get in the hot tub and they go, oh my God. I'm like, I told you it was a good decision. So that's my new thing, is it's a good decision. Dancing with me, it's a good decision. If you get nervous, if you get scared, you just feel it. You just dance the nervousness, you dance the fear. That's the whole point of it. Whatever comes up to be processed is what's there to be seen. So you say, oh, I'm so uncomfortable in this moment, because maybe you're so uncomfortable, or I'm so uncomfortable with sadness, or I'm so uncomfortable with anger, or I'm so comfortable with anger. I like this song, right? Like, you let yourself
Mhm.
learn about yourself by like what music is playing, because music is the vibrational match to our whole soul.
Manas and I were talking about yesterday on our Zoom about feeling the drum beat coming through you and then playing it. So it's almost like we're living frequency, our spirit. It's a frequency, it's a vibration, and now we're playing with vibration. And then with dance, we're in the vibration with music. You know what I mean? So our body's responding and actually flowing the vibration.
So excited for that, because one of the things
Yeah.
that I'll tell you, one thing that you made me remember when I originally started teaching dance, every Saturday, where I taught at Kripalu for like 30 years, there was live drummers for the first 20 years of my career. Every Saturday there were live drummers, and I taught many, many, many Saturdays. And the live drumming was not African dance with steps, but it was Afro-Caribbean rhythms, and it was
Mm.
absolutely soul shaking. And I did my journey dance process and overlaid it with the drums. And there is literally nothing more um, embodying than drums and dance,
Mhm.
because the drum hits you, and it's totally different from electronic music, which is also amazing, but the
Mhm.
organic music is just so incredible. So I'm looking forward to this event very, very much so.
As we experience the dance of destiny together and as it's unfolding before us, because it is a new cake that we're baking, we're bringing in
Yeah.
new ingredients. We have a sound healer. Steph's going to be there. I'm going to be there. You're going to be there. Matt's going to be there. It's literally like we're throwing this ingredients in. To me, it's going to be like the most amazing chocolate chip cookie in the world. It has everything: the walnuts, the pretzels, a little bit of the peanut butter, everything, the big
A little bit
chunk.
of salt.
Oh, yes, yeah, yep. A little bit of salt. I love the salt on it.
I like
So
my
it
salt
has
and
has
chocolate chip
everything,
cookie.
and it's like we're going to get into the granular experience of the human experience, but on a deep level. I really feel with the drum and with your ability to lead movement and dance, it's going to take on at some point some kind of tribal feel where your soul is just going to come alive and our hearts are going to open through the movement, through being free. So when I'm thinking about this thing, as it unfolds and like a flower, like unfolding in different parts, like different parts of the journey dance, right?
Yep.
It's just things are unfolding as we're moving through space and dancing, surrendering to the rhythms and just moving with it freely. Um,
I had a thought can I jump in on that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, when you told me it was going to be called, the Dance of Destiny, I was thinking about, what is destiny? What is it, and how is it in our lives, and how do we think of it, and is it destiny, and do I make my own destiny? All the questions.
Mhm.
And I've been studying the shamanic path for many years, but finally did like a full-on training just last year. And one of the key concepts that I love so much that I don't stop talking about it, is what they call the momentum tunnel. So when you
Mm.
are in your life, you are in your own momentum tunnel. So ask
Mhm.
yourself real quick while you're listening to this video, do I like my life right now? Okay, that's the question. If you There's no need to answer to us right now. But if you do, then stay in your momentum tunnel. If you
Mhm.
don't, then how do you get off of a momentum tunnel? Momentum tunnel means momentum. You've created
Mhm.
so much in the past that it's pushing forward, right? The only
Mhm.
way to do that is to step off of the regular timeline, which is how we operate normally, go into an altered state experience like what we're going to be creating, which is an altered state experience. As soon as music is added to anything, your state changes, because your brain on music, you can read
Mhm.
all about it, it changes. So when we add, like, I'm going to lead a guided journey, you're going to be going with me, then we're going to have live drums and all these things. So there'll be a chance for us to shift our destiny line. Literally, they call it changing your timeline. Like
Mhm.
instead of going in the momentum tunnel, going like this or going like that. Like, there's a whole new option. And most people are afraid to go off of their momentum tunnel because they're so comfortable with it on a nervous system level, right? So we get so used to, I'll give you an example. Let's say you're addicted to the news, right? And every day you
Mhm.
have to open up your app and get your jolt of
Mhm.
cortisol. Okay, like that's an addiction. People don't even realize it.
Mhm.
They're doing it every day with Instagram, with whatever. If you didn't do that and you taught your nervous system a new way, your destiny line would change. And that's what we're going to do on this one night, in this one experience. We're going to take an opportunity to say, what I'm going to focus on, what is the destiny that you would like to create? Because if you knew that you could create your own destiny, the only way to do that again is to get out of your own way, so to speak, right?
Mhm.
And let yourself change and shift. And we get fear of change, but change doesn't just mean changing like our circumstances. It means changing our feelings because we
Mhm.
create from here, right? We create from the body. So if I always have to have a big cortisol rush because my father screamed at me when I was a child, or I always have to have some blow up in my life because this person was abusive to me, whatever it was in my childhood, that I'm
Mhm.
inheriting and in my momentum tunnel, if I don't change the energy pattern, how am I going to change the outer reality? So we say when we're on the dance floor, we're shifting things at the energetic level so then they
Mhm.
shift at the physical level.
That's huge because when we're dancing, well, the word enthusiasm, like if you go to the root of it, it means with God.
Mhm.
To me, to generate energy of enthusiasm, I put on my three favorite songs. I go dance in the sunlight, barefoot on the grass, and I
Yeah.
look into the sun. And I sing, and I'll sing with the songs. That opens up a vortex of energy, of joy for me, and enthusiasm.
Yes.
So then I started playing around with manifesting, thanking God, thanking the universe for the things that I wanted as if I had them. And that, like, it's like the Tetris game now, that the bricks start coming into place where I want them to fall.
Hmm.
So what you're talking about with the tunnel, it's like, I'm just thinking of like if you're tunneling into a mountain, right? It's like where we're focusing because we're creatures of habit. So every day we're creatures of habit. We're doing the same thing. To get on a different train track takes a lot of effort. So like with a dance like this, it like temporarily blows up the train track and allows you to build a new one, the one you want.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
And I think in 3 hours of an experience, if you really let yourself go into it at that level of saying, I'm just going to let go and really go for this and let my inhibitions, leave them at the door because who needs that anyway? And try something totally new. Even and if it's really presses on your edges, that's great because that's what growth is. I mean, otherwise
Mhm.
we don't grow unless we press against our edges. We just stagnate. So grow or die, they say. Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
grow. But you know what I mean? Stagnation is just it's no fun.
Right. And I feel like we get sad, we get stagnant when somewhere we've recognized we're not pursuing what we want to pursue. Deep down, we want to be pursuing something. Deep down, we want to be doing something. We're choosing not to do it, and it gets us down like a wet blanket on us. Sometimes it takes a friend or a really cool experience or something like this to rip off the wet blanket, to free up your soul, to say, I want that. Oh my God, I could have that. Like we shut off the no voice that was echoing from our childhood. And we're just like, I could take the apple right off the tree. Oh my God, it's so delicious. I feel it in me. It's part of me. It is me, And
Mm.
talking about the creatures of habit, to me, it always goes back to stress. Everyone's trying to survive. And until we start thinking about the things that, like, what's my purpose, right? Think about how many people live and die without ever thinking, why'd I come here? What's my purpose? What does my soul want?
Right?
What's most important to me? We're just, doing the same old every day. But this
Mhm.
breaks us out of that, breaks us out of the matrix. It,
That's
it
so
like,
funny. I just started my email and it's called I'm unplugged from the matrix, y'all, because I've been gone for a month. No news. It
stay
was
unplugged,
amazing to be out of the matrix to feel joyfully happy.
stay unplugged. The
I
best
know.
you
No,
can,
well,
stay
right now,
unplugged.
I mean, I have to be responsible and be unplugged at the same time, but
Yeah, yeah.
I believe it's possible.
When you go into a deep meditation and you're in there, you're there. You're in that sweet spot.
Yep, I know
Don't
it.
leave. Up when you open up your eyes, stay there.
Hmm.
So in our retreats, we're always looking to access the eternal sea of love. After we get through all the pain, the golden glistening white light, the golden sea of love, the golden glistening honey, the sweetness, and then remembering that, cultivating it, nourishing it. So the stuff that we're going to open up, the effervescence of the flower and the dance, that's with you forever. Times, how do you integrate dance to keep you afloat of the waves? if you're not feeling good, do you go in your studio and just start moving? Like, what do you do when you're having a tough time?
Oh, I mean, I can't live without it. I mean,
Hmm.
the tough times are when the most, I mean, I will say the most creativity I ever could possibly have comes out of the tough times. It's kind of sad when like songwriters, I'm a songwriter, and so much of the songs are pain and grief and anger and sadness and all the things mixed into music. And that's why music affects us so strongly when we're dancing as well. So it's like the songwriter in me listens to the song and dances the song. So if I am feeling grief, I'm going to play a really hard one. If I'm feeling anger, I do so much process work in the dance that I literally, like, that is how I survive the hard stuff. I mean, there have been times when I just could not teach, but it was really rare, could not lead. Because for me, the teaching is the leading is the interaction, it's the process.
Hmm.
I'm in my own process. I mean, I have therapists and shamans and, psychics and healers and people that I work with when I like really can't get on the dance. It's never happened to me before though. The dance floor is my home. So when I go home, is when I do my process. I have been through and go through difficult things. It's not like I don't. But I bring it to the dance floor and it always transmutes right there because somehow I find the transmutation in the dance. So the dance is about transmuting. It's about saying, where am I and where do I want to go? I wanted to share one thing with you. You said something that I just really want to just jump. It made me think of someone in this workshop that I just led. We were talking and sharing in a big share circle, and someone said something that their mother had said to them. And it was the most awful sentence that I ever heard. And I just couldn't let it sit. And I said, would you like to work with that right now? Would you like to move past that so that you don't have to believe that? Because it's so in her consciousness that it's still there
Hmm.
at this late age in life. It's still running the show. And we did it. We did a psychodrama process and we talked it through, we worked through it so that we could give her a new implant. I call it implant when someone gives you
Hmm.
something and like you take it in so deeply, it becomes part of you. And what if it wasn't yours to carry? So like in the journey dance process, I'm going to ask you like, what is the top of mind block that you carry? The sentence that you hear in your head, this thought that this woman believed that she could never have this and this at the same time led her to be not in a relationship for her whole life. I mean, we're talking like people, because our parents try to protect their children from pain because of the pain that they went through and their ancestors went through and their ancestors went through and then we create these cycles of abuse, cycles of addictive behavior, cycles of protection, cycles of fear, right? So now here you are, the game changer right now, right here. The only one who can do it is you. I'm just telling you that. You can't fix the mother, the father, the implant, things that have happened in the past. You can only do it now. So that's why it's a bit courageous to say, I'm going to show up and I'm going to be in my difficult, I'm going to be in my good, I'm going to be in my excellent, I'm going to be in my bad, I'm going to be in all my parts, and I'm not going to beat myself up, but I'm going to show up and I'm going to be the game changer. I'm never going to add that to somebody else's life. So that's really what I think the whole why I keep doing what I'm doing is because, oh wow, that woman, I mean, we hugged at the end of the retreat and we had a giggle and a chuckle and she's like, thank you for doing that with me. I'm like, I love you, you're so great. But she did it. She did a whole process to shift an old thought that was literally destructive to her beautiful
Hmm.
being.
It's amazing how when we are young, our parents unconsciously pass on to us the things that they received, and it merges with our identity when we're sponges in our formative years. And then it's in
Of
there,
course.
and then it's just manifesting stuff, manifesting cruddy relationships, manifesting blocks in our lives until we get lucky enough to come to a place in our lives where you have an opportunity to release it.
Yeah.
And there is a certain amount of bravery it takes to show up. Now, there's going to be dancers that come that are just ready to rock out and just go and process and release. But for me, I love the other half of it, the people that are just coming out of their shell, like, should I go? I really need this. And then they show up and then they have the release and they have the joy and then their hearts reopened again and they're reconnected with themselves again, their true selves.
They
You know?
remember who they are
Yeah.
as a beautiful being. That's why I told you when it happened to me when I was in my 20s, I remembered that I was a beautiful being. I had an awakening. I mean, they call it an awakening, but it was literally like a physical bodily awakening that I was not just my story and
Mhm.
everything that had happened to me up to that point. I was like, boom. I felt like I literally changed on a dime. It was actually a little bit shocking to the system. I had to move. I left New York City. I did the whole thing. Like
Mhm.
I changed my entire life and I'm going to do it again very soon because I've had another awakening. But I am not afraid this time because I know I can do it because I know who I am.
Yeah, I'm starting to see you more like a cosmic shaman that heals through movement and vibration.
That's my favorite title anyone's ever given me. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm always grateful to share space with you. I can't wait to dance with you. I can't wait to be part of this and experience it and see all the faces and all the movement and feel the rhythm and just get people together with a pure, pure, pure intention of healing, love, and joy. So thank
I'm
you so
so
much.
excited too.
Yeah, thank you so much, Toni. I'm really honored and I can't wait.